Hi, this is Bhuvana Rajaram again for Fluently and welcome to this particular video segment that is titled as Body Series. Body series videos are all about English idioms that use body parts as part of their idiom structure, right? In an earlier segment, I had spoken about English idioms, about 3 to 4 idioms that use the word hair. Like for instance, split hair, hair of the dog, and similar such. It's available as part of my YouTube channel. You could check it out. But in this segment, we'll be looking at the word I, how I is used in idioms and how we can apply it in our conversations. The first one is bird's eye view. Imagine a bird sitting at a rooftop and looking down on the ground. The area that it has covered as part of its vision is wide, right? So that's what this expression is all about. The next time when you want to refer to someone who has an in-depth knowledge, who has a wide viewpoint, a wide exposure to a particular topic, then you could use this phrase bird's eye view. For instance, you could say, he has a bird's eye view of the healthcare IT sector, which is what helped us big time in getting more projects. That is number one. Number two, catch someone's eye. Let's say you and your friend have decided to meet at a restaurant to have dinner together. As in, you don't go together, but you meet there. So, when she walks in, you're already there in the lobby. When she walks in, you try to get her attention. The moment you catch her eye, that's when you refer to that particular instance as I caught her eye and I caught her attention, and then we proceeded on, right? The third one is eagle eye. Let's say you have prepared a report, an in-depth report. You put your, you've done your homework and you've done a detailed analysis and you've created a report, and very proudly you walk to your professor and you present it. He or she looks at it, reviews it, and finds about 8 to 10 mistakes or areas of improvement. And then that kind of a person is referred to as someone with an eagle eye. In short, it means someone who can scrutinize things very clearly, quickly, and assess and bring out the mistakes from that particular work. Right? So that is eagle eye. The fourth one is having an eye in the back of your head. Imagine you skip college a day, or you skip work, for instance, anything, and then you hang out with friends and you go to the movies. When you return home and your mother asks you, how was college? And she looks at you very pointedly, right? So you wonder at that particular instance, maybe she has eyes at the back of her head, right? So someone who doesn't miss a thing, someone who is always on the vigil and is very keen to observe things and events and occurrences. So that kind of a person or that kind of a situation is referred to as having eyes at the back of your head. So that is fourth expression, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The fifth one is without batting an eyelid. So without batting an eyelid means you don't display any emotion, you don't think twice, you don't hesitate even for an instance. And you go ahead and complete the task or do something, right? For instance, you could say, he hardly batted an eyelid and he immediately jumped into the water to rescue the child which was, sinking. So that is without batting an eyelid. Turn a blind eye is the sixth expression that we'll be looking at. Turn a blind eye is when you choose to ignore a particular aspect. Let's say the government turned a blind eye to all the corruptness that was existing in various judiciary systems. Or for instance, you could say, my colleague makes a lot of mistakes, but my manager doesn't pull him up for anything at all. He chooses to turn a blind eye to him. So that is blind eye, turning a blind eye all about. The seventh expression is a very funny one, having eyes bigger than your stomach. Often used in conversations where you have to talk about food, this expression comes into existence. Let's say you're at a dinner party and there is a wide array of delicious dishes spread out in front of you. You're a foodie and you get very excited, you fill up your plate and you come back but you're struggling to finish it. So that's when you refer to that situation as having eyes bigger than your stomach. But while this is one way of looking at this expression, the other angle to this is, let's say somebody has set hairy, audacious goals for themselves and you wonder if this is too much of a stretch. That's also when you could use this phrase, having eyes bigger than your stomach. Maybe, I mean, he wants to complete this project in probably the next 6 days. I'm wondering if he has eyes bigger than his stomach, you know. So that's how you can use this. The eighth one being, get a black eye. It's very, very self-explanatory. Two people fighting with each other and one hits the other around the eye, right? And there is a disfigured patch, discolored patch near the eye. That's a black eye. So that's also, I mean, that is fairly straightforward. But another way of looking at this expression is, it also relates to embarrassment or a dishonor. For instance, this you could say, his drunken brawls outside the home is a black eye to the family honor, right? So that's also one way of looking at a black eye. The next expression and the ninth expression that we'll be looking at is seeing eye to eye. It's fairly something that you may have come across. Eye to eye is being in complete agreement with another person on a particular topic. And you could also say, I don't see eye to eye, when you are in disagreement, right? My sister and I are eye to eye when it comes to planning a vacation to the US. Or you could say, my colleague and I don't see eye to eye on in terms of completing this project by next month. But it's fine. I mean, we don't worry too much about it. The 10th one and the final expression or the idiom that uses eye is crying one's eyes out. When someone is very, very miserable, weeping inconsolably, I mean, they are unable to come out of the dejection or the disappointment that they are facing, and they are crying non-stop, that's when this expression, crying one's eyes out, comes into existence. So I hope these 10 expressions, right, starting from what did we look at first? We said bird's eye view, catch someone's eye, eagle eye, having eyes at the back of one's head, without batting an eyelid, turning a blind eye, having eyes bigger than your stomach, getting a black eye, seeing eye to eye, crying one's eyes out. These are the 10 different simple but very telling expressions that you could bring it into your English speaking conversations. So go ahead and try using them in your conversations and see the difference does it make. It makes. And like I always say, stay in touch with the English language, and talk to you soon. Bye.